everybody, welcome back. So let's take a look at where we left off last time. So we have this nice crossroads map where this road crosses right there. It goes off the map in a couple different directions. We have the entrance to our fortress here, trade depot, trade storage. Then going down we have what's going to be a farm layer. We have a woodworking and furniture center, and we have what will be the main floor of our fortress. So if you remember correctly, we have the meeting hall here, which is going to get some furniture soon. These bedrooms here, which are going to get some furniture as well. We've got our manager's office for work orders. We've got, this will be a bookkeeper's office, and we have all of this ore. So it's going to be a pretty big goal for us to get some coal going pretty soon. So let's jump right in. Alright, starting the work. Now we're going to need more vertical levels. Lignite, I'm pretty sure, is a coal ore. Yes, it sure is. So, in Dwarf Fortress, one of the most important things you can have is metal. And for metal, you need to smelt. The issue with smelting is that it takes a fuel source. So, there's ways to use trees. You can use coal. And to get coal isn't something you just straight up mine. You actually use something called coke, which is kind of similar to real life. You can make coke from different things, including bituminous coal, but also from lignite. So what I'd like to do is set the auto on 5. Just have in mind kind of all this stuff here. So we've got the coal, the lignite, which will be coal. We've got this tetrahedrite, which will be silver and crafts, and we'll kind of go from there. This layer doesn't look like it has too much, and we're going to go ahead and mine down a little bit more here as well. Alright, so I'm going to select level 4 priority, the stairs, and go down a couple levels so we see kind of what we're working with. Alright, these guys are making good progress over here. Ooh, they're kind of thirsty, which is another issue we're going to have to solve for pretty soon. Right now for water, my doors will go up to the surface of some of these pools. That is going to be a problem if once the winter comes and everything freezes again. So right now they can just go up here. It's still not great water. It's murky, stagnant water. So I might actually make a goal of fixing that for them sooner rather than later. Alright. Rubies. Alright. So that's done. Next I'm going to do some engraving so they're very happy with their bedrooms. A lot of times you can just engrave the entire rooms, but I like to kind of make it a little decorated. Just so you know what engraving is, if you click on one of these, you can actually see every one of these engravings on the floor and the wall is a specific image. So, Dishmab's Daduknomo is one of my dwarves, this carpenter here. And so she has depicted the Apes of Wire, which I actually don't know what that is. It's probably a deity perhaps. And the local dwarven government, because we settled near a dwarf. So it's kind of interesting. They all do specific things. This person just did an image of a wave. This person did an image of backpacks, blazing suns. So that's kind of interesting. Alright, let's quickly start placing some furniture. We're going to say use closest material, keep building after placement. We don't have enough, that's fine. We're going to build some cabinets. I like to build every one of my dwarven bedrooms with beds and cabinets. And the other important thing is to use to build a door. So I'm going to say doors. We don't have any doors. So I'm going to go to my work orders. So we'll check. Yes, we have make wooden doors. You can see I have all these work orders here for cabinets, but and doors and things. They all use wood, so we might actually want to kind of create the ability to use stone. And you can see here we got some more coal. Got plenty of coal. We're not going to have any shortage of fuel, I don't think. If we can survive past the water, this is going to be a very rich fortress. So I'm just going to build out here for now, and we're going to build some basic stoneworks. Got a lot of. I should probably start planting a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. In the beginning, a lot of what you're doing is juggling. Dwarf Fortress is fairly forgiving when it comes to this stuff, surprisingly, given its reputation. So I'm going to make 2 little farms here. It says poor soil, cavern soil is best. Well, that's fine. I'm going to say plump helmets now, autumn, dimple cups, winter, plump helmets again, spring, quarry bushes. So every dwarven farm has 4 growing seasons. You don't want to grow the same thing a bunch of times in a row, and I think it's even helpful to have things be fallow, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So this other one, I'm going to have it do pigtails, because then I can spread my seeds out a little more. I'm going to do cave wheat in the autumn. I'm going to do dimple cups in the winter, and I'm going to do sweet pods in the spring. Alright. Next I'm going to build the little farm shop, which can process plants back into seeds. And in fact, I might actually mine out a little bit for some seed storage up here. Alright. So we got some food going. The next thing we have to think about is, where do we want our well? Now, I might make a well. Let's say right here. So for a well, unfortunately it's actually quite difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this staircase and we're going to just dig down until we hit water. And the reason for that will become apparent in a moment. So just let them dig down there and see how far we get. This is looking good. So I'm going to create a stockpile. This is going to be sort of my industrial layer. And for now, I just want some stone working. I didn't actually complete that. So I'm going to say this, except I'm going to say stone. And I'm going to make it custom. I don't want metal. I don't want economic. I just want or clay. Just regular stone. That's it. Then next to this, I'm going to put a couple of stoneworkers, and we're going to just start making a bunch of stuff out of stone instead of wood, because first of all, dwarves like that better, and second of all, it's a good way to use all of this stone that we're getting here. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to cancel the wooden cabinets and the wooden doors, and I'm going to say rock door. So I'm making a work order to make a rock door is going to make 10. I'm going to say as long as the number of rock doors is less than 10. And this is like rock doors that are placeable, not ones that are already placed. Alright. Next I'm going to say rock cabinet. Again, empty rock cabinets less than 10. And I'm going to say rock table. Same deal. So this way we'll always have a supply of stone furniture for all of our different needs. Rock throne is basically a chair. Wooden chairs, rock thrones. It's just a difference in wording. Same usage though. And there we go. We got a bunch of different rules here. We'll have some dwarves start working in there, and I will probably make a storage place for them to do some digging later as well. However, if we want to dig a well, we actually are going to need some space. So that's okay. Let's see how far down we get. There we go. That's the water layer right here at elevation 33. So this is fine. Right. So I'm going to first of all hit the H button on my keyboard, and this allows me to kind of reset my locations. So I'm going to change the start location from the wagon to the main floor of my base. So I'm just going to click in here. I'm going to type in a new label. I'm going to hit this button here, which is the recenter position. Alright, now I can hit F1 and recenter back here. Alright, this is good. Next, we want to dig all the way down to where it's wet, which is this level here. And so what we need is a hole. So a well is a structure that lets you, hold on a second. A well needs a rope or a chain, which I actually don't know if we have that. So before we do anything else, let's finish this up here. Let's say build a door. Let's say build a table. Build chairs. So if you look up here at the top, you see it says like about 40 food, about 20 seeds, about 20 plants, and so on. The reason it says that kind of stuff is because basically my dwarves don't know how much stuff they have. So that is where we're going to appoint our second position, which is the position of bookkeeper. So we're going to select this guy, Adel Ingakathel, proficient record keeper. Now she needs a office. So we're going to go ahead and create this new office that we assigned to her, that we created just now. And we're going to say office. There we go. And we're going to assign that to our bookkeeper, right, like that. So now she will do the books to this level. So this basically, if you set it this at 1, she won't really do that much work on the books. But if you set it at 5, she'll spend most of her time tallying everything up, and pretty soon we'll end up with an accurate count of everything we have, which is very important for us, in my opinion. All right, let's put some doors in. You can see a lot of this game is juggling. It's just keeping track of a bunch of different goals and doing as many of them as you can. I don't have enough beds. That's fine. Do I have cabinets? Yes, I do. I might need more wood. It seems like I do, yeah. Damn, this is a very good fortress. All right, we just gotta get to capitalize on it. Okay. I'm gonna create this as the new furniture fortress because most of it's gonna be built down here. All right. And so I'm gonna move up here because this stockpile is getting full. And so we're gonna change this, and we're gonna say no furniture, just wood. That's fine. So they'll move all this stuff down to that new stockpile now. My population is 17. That's a little rough for me because that means we're already running out of room in the dormitory and elsewhere. So I'm going to start making bedrooms. There's two ways to make bedrooms. You can just paint a bedroom, just the same way you do anything else. Let's finish saving. We can paint a bedroom the same way as we paint the offices. Just click on the corner and drag. Or with bedrooms, you can do multi. The reason that's important is because if I was to, let's say, paint this, right? And then I paint this. What you notice here is it doesn't actually make new ones. It just adds to that space, which is not good for us. What we want is to make a bunch of individual bedrooms. So we hit multi. Multi, you just click on the bed, and it defines the area. Double click on the bed, that is. Define the area that's closed in by a door. So in order to do this, you need a walled-in room with a door. Then you can just click on each of those beds, and suddenly you have some rooms, which is nice for us. All right, this is all going well. We've got some precious metals. We've got some furniture here. We're going to immediately go ahead and I think expand. We're going to need a lot more industrial room, especially if we want to try to trade, which we are definitely going to want to do because despite how nice this is, we're going to need some more stuff. So, all right, we kind of cleared out our meeting hall here as well. So another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build some walls. I want to select the walls because I want to determine how it looks. So we're going to say claystone. We're just going to sort of build in around this meeting area like that. And we're going to put some tables. This one we're going to use closest material. Alright, look at that. So it appears we have a first trader. So this diplomacy means that somebody is in my trading depot and they're going to say, what do you guys want for next year? So you there's this huge, overwhelming list, which is honestly a little much, but the things I'm going to say is we need some ropes, because we don't have the ability to make those yet. Honestly, I always ask for seeds, which is... I forget exactly how to do that. Possibly just bags. Here we go, seeds. So we want as many seeds as we can get. You can never have too many seeds. And I a lot of times get musical instruments. The reason I get musical instruments is because they're a huge pain in the ass to make yourself, and you need them to place into temples and taverns and anything with dancing, because of course Dwarf Fortress also has dancing. So let's request that. Alright, that's good enough for now. I'm going to pause. I'm going to check out our situation. So So this is just the outpost liaison. We've got some migrants. Okay, so they're not here yet. We just have the visitor from one of the nearby dwarf colonies, which you can actually see here on the world screen. So, I didn't want to go that far out. So try fort. You can also do raids and things like that. So that's us with the yellow there like that. All right. So we're going to want to have stuff ready to trade. But the other thing we're going to want to do is have stuff ready to sort of plant. So we hit the stockpile button. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to go custom. I'm going to go down to I think food, plants, seeds. All right. So we want all of our seeds to be available here. So what we want is for everybody to bring seeds right next to the farming. All right. So hopefully that'll help us. The next thing we want to do is we want to make a new work order, which is process plants. Now, process plants will turn plants into seeds, as I think I said in a previous video. So on run, processable plants is greater than 10. That means if there's more than 10 plants to process, it'll process 10 of them. So basically what this means is every day it'll do 10 as long as there's more than 10 to do, which will always leave us with a couple. I might even put this up to 15 so that our dwarves always have some food remaining. But I don't know if that's a good idea or not. We're just going to go with it. All right. So we're trying to get some. So I don't have any beds. What's going on with that? What's going on with that is that we don't have any wood. So it's time to cut some more wood. Go outside. And we're just going to designate a bunch of trees to chop down. We're also going to do something else because it's the summer still, which is harvest. If you hit plant gathering, your dwarves will go out and they'll just pick as much food as they can possibly find in this area. This is a really good way to get a bunch of food quick. All right, it's about time to wrap this up. So let's notice a couple of things at the end of the day here. We now have very accurate stocks up here. Exactly 35 food, 30 seeds, 5 meat, 9 fish, 22 plants, and so on. We have we actually have quite a few ropes, which means we're kind of good to make a well. So if we want the well to be right here, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to dig all the way down, because the thing a well is a giant hole in the ground that goes all the way down to water. In this game, there's no magical, like, you just make a well and suddenly you're fine. Just a building that magically creates water. You actually have to dig all the way down to water. So the bottom of our stair shaft here is the water. So we're going to dig to here. In fact, we're just going to put that as the as a mining so that they get down there, and that's it. So some poor dwarf will dig a hole all the way down. Let's actually make this a priority, huh? Now, they're still going to do a bunch of hauling before they start on that, but the reason I'm not going to let them out immediately is because if I have people mine down here first, the thing they're going to do is they're going to mine out this entire area, and that poor dwarf who mines down here is going to dig a hole through the ceiling here and just going to fall on his ass, possibly hurting himself. So once the person... Yep, there we go. Somebody's already digging. Although, what happened? Huh? I don't know what happened. Alright. This is an issue. So, alright. Sometimes they're going to try to climb out of there when what we actually need them to do is go all the way down. So, a couple places we're just going to have to, you know, begin here. And then they'll dig down a little. We'll dig a little more. Alright. We have now dug down basically to water. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine out here. And then I'm going to dig a hole. Alright. What's happened is we've started getting just a little bit of water. Alright. We'll see if that actually fills in fast enough. So this is going to be the bottom of my well, and what I now have is a hole that goes all the way up here, and then we're just going to dig a hole here. But we're also going to mark. This basically allows restrictions. So I'm going to put a thing here because I don't want the person to actually stand on it as they dig it. I want them to stand next to it. And the reason for that is if they stand on it, they're going to fall all the way down. So the final thing we're going to do tonight is right here, we're going to build a well. Just like that. We need blocks, we need mechanisms. Alright. So, new work orders, blocks. We're just going to say, as long as you have at least 10. Well, it's just for now, let's actually add this. Later on, we're going to take this away because we're going to want as many rock blocks as we can make. But right now, we're just going to say that. And we're going to say mechanisms. Also rock. Now, a mechanism is used for machines. So a machine is like traps, wells, floodgates, anything like that. But to make a mechanism, you need a mechanics shop. So we're going to build one of those as well. This is a mechanics shop. We're going to just make one right there. Alright. And I'm actually going to request that they do these a little faster. People will do these in the priority that they are given. Okay, I don't know how this got in here. The ballista arrow. So I'm just to make sure this is safe on each level. I mean, they mostly won't jump in a hole anyway, but better safe than sorry. Especially because some of these layers have very valuable metals next to them. Eventually we might actually build around this with some walls so it's kind of more protected, because like little kids and animals will sometimes fall there anyway. But for now we're just going to do this, and you can see here we got water starting to fill in. This is great. I'm a little tempted to build this out a little more. In fact, I'm going to do that. Alright, I was trying to get some water here. Basically, the deeper down we dig, the faster this will go. It kind of stays at this level, which means we don't really have to worry about there we go. We don't have to worry about it like coming back up into the cavern or anything. Alright. Going a little faster, we're just going to dig one more final hole right in the middle. And we're just going to hope for the best. Hope that just fills up nicely with water. Alright. Meanwhile, let's see if we've achieved our first goals there. And there you go. I have built enough blocks and enough mechanisms, and I already had the rope, and I can put a well here. Actually, I don't want the well there. Hold on. What am I saying? Cancel construction. I want the well up here on this level. There we go. That's where I want the well. Down here, on this floor especially, I actually just want to make a wall. You can actually see the little rope go down. That's pretty cool. And we'll of course do more down there. Alright, what this means is we have a well, and so the last thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to declare a water source, just like that. That means all of my poor little dwarves can actually go here to get their water. Alright, let's see if we've got some beds. Yep. Alright, this is kind of coming along. We've got a nice little meeting hall here. We've got a shit ton of metal. We've got some bedrooms. We've got a well. Next, we're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about trading, we're going to talk about metal smelting.